This is the self-titled podcast of the Golf in Japan website, where you can check essential information in English about golfing in Japan, including more than 2,000 courses. We can help you book your round and make the whole process a whole lot easier. So check out golf-in-japan.com and start planning your Japan golf trip today.
Titleist Club Fitting, the fastest way to better. With a player-focused philosophy on fitting, Titleist offers a range of club fitting experiences from drivers to wedges. Your Titleist fitting specialist, thanks to an unmatched selection of products and technology, along with a wealth of fitting knowledge, will provide you with tour-quality fitting experience that can provide immediate benefits for your game. You can experience a fitting in English while in Japan. Just go to the Golf in Japan website and click on the Titleist banner. Or check the link in the description of this podcast. Titleist, the fastest way to better.
Golf in Japan. We're back after a long absence. I feel like I've said that many times recently, and it's all on me because I'm too lazy to edit podcasts. But welcome, boys. Welcome back.
Welcome. Konnichiwa.
To my left, we have Ryan. Let's go around. Ryan, how are you?
Hello, doing good. Beautiful day today in Tokyo, as you can see.
Yeah.
You
Totally
see all the
looks
planes
fake.
going by. What'd you say?
It looks fake. It looks amazing.
Yeah, maybe it is.
And about 2 meters away from him is Damon,
Hello.
who obviously has a different camera. And we can't see any blue sky or... Damon actually has the best view, I reckon. That doesn't look like...
I think he does.
And Pro Joe, how's it going, mate? Where's your suntan? I thought you were in Vietnam.
I'm good. Yeah, actually, it rained. It's rainy season. It's winter over there. So actually, the weather was nice, but it rained a lot.
Did you play any golf?
4 times.
Did you?
Yeah, 4 rounds. It was terrific.
It's been getting a lot of promotion, Hazel Vietnam recently. I think even Rick Shields was giving it a shout out, or one of those guys.
So they should. Da Nang is the most
Da Nang,
unbelievable destination for golf at the moment. It's only 5 and a bit hours from here. I've talked about it a little bit before, but unbelievable
And
golf.
the quality of the courses were good?
Amazing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just world class.
So the government have gone from 80 courses to 200 courses, right? So
Yeah, and a lot more planned.
Yeah.
There's some that are being constructed at the moment, so it's it's
Never
going
been.
great guns, and it's affordable, and the flight into to Da Nang, all the hotels and the golf courses are really close to the airport. Everything's very close to everything.
Nice.
Easy to get around.
Yeah.
Everybody speaks English. Golf is off the charts, so it's
Wow.
definitely a place. that we
What
should
was
get
a
to.
round costing over there?
I think Hoiana Shores is the most expensive, and that's about $250 US.
Okay.
So 150 to 250, but worth every cent. It's buggies and it's caddies, and it's 1 caddy per player.
Oh, wow.
World class golf courses. It's really cool.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Well, this podcast is
Yeah,
entitled Golf in Japan.
I was going to say, there's no Mount Fuji, there's no geisha, there's no samurai.
No.
No, there's not.
onsen.
There's not.
Yeah.
Actually, did you see Damon posted yesterday on Instagram about Fuji? That was like the best Fuji view. You weren't lying, actually. That was amazing.
The weather was just absolutely mint. It was
It is
perfect weather.
lovely. The weather's so nice now. It's just got those bluebird days, 17 degrees. Perfect.
Yeah. Winter is so clear. It's always so clear in Japan during the winter. Like, it's too bad it gets pretty cold in January and whatnot. But
Oh, Ryan, I believe you played 18 holes on Friday. How did you go?
did. I think it was fantastic. I had a great time. Had a good, went really well. No pain in my wrist this time around. So I must have been hitting the ball better. But I was going to ask Damon, actually, who plays better, me or Marco?
Marco.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I also
Good choice.
I had a better time with my driver than before. So before that was definitely the weakest link. Not that there is a strong link per se, but the driver was going okay. I did play from, I don't know, probably the kiddies tees though, not even the ladies tees. I think it was the
To play for?
Yeah, basically starting on the fairway, But
Did Damon make you do that?
no. He was always trying to encourage me to start from the big boy tees, but.
Did you hit the big drive? Did you hit the driver? I should say the big dog. I was trying to say.
Yeah, it was good. I'm spoiled to be playing with Titleist clubs as a beginner, though. So they're really going to poor use in a sense. But hey, at least I have no excuses for when it doesn't go right. I know it's not the club's fault. So
Ryan, you played Fujizakura, is that right?
No.
No, sorry, Damon. You played
Damon
that
did.
on must have been Saturday. So where did you play on Friday?
At Brickenwood.
Oh God, Baptism of Fire. That's a hard golf course
Yeah,
too.
really.
For your first round of
was
golf.
gonna
Great
say.
golf course. Desmond Muirhead design. Oh
man,
I really enjoyed
We've talked
there,
about
but
that golf
wow.
course like
Yeah.
far too many times.
Jeepers. For your first
Those
time.
greens, man.
Oh,
That's if you put any spin on your ball whatsoever, it spins off the green.
yeah, it does too. Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
sloped, double, triple tiered.
They are
It's
too.
just evil,
Yeah.
evil stuff.
I was surprised that the verticality of it was. I thought it was quite fun. I mean, there was some where you're like hitting up. Usually, it seems like you're kind of like hitting down and straight or whatever. But there's some where it's like you got to hit it up, to be able to get it onto the.
Is that a
Is
real
that a
word?
word? Yeah,
Verticality.
Verticality? Yeah,
Well, it
that's
is
a word.
now.
Yeah,
It's a
oh,
good
yeah.
word, Ryan.
In golfer sense, we're kind of dumb, so we just say up and down,
Yeah.
up down.
But it is very up
In
and down.
Japanese,
brick and wood.
they say it as well, up down. So way up down.
It was very up and down. That's
It
for
is
sure.
too.
It is, yeah. It's amazing actually. They got a 18-hole golf course out of that area. It's incredible.
Yeah,
It's
just
packed
too.
in tight. Some of the holes, like the par 3 or something like that, it's like you could probably throw a baseball over there, but it is with all the up and down, it's certainly a challenge and it's narrow. But
I like the clubhouse. They got a
Yeah,
nice
it's got a
vibe.
nice
They
vibe.
got old
Yeah, it
dogs
does. Yeah.
hanging around. It's just dogs everywhere.
Yeah, and you can play through and have a hot
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, they're actually
after
doing a
nine
lot
holes.
of development there. I mean, not just the golf course, but just across the road from the entrance there. They've built some accommodation. They've got a
have to.
restaurant there.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of other things planned. So it's a pretty good place to go and even stay over and play.
Did you see the accommodation? The new
Yeah, we
stuff?
did. It's quite nice.
It is
Is it?
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like, a 4 or 5 star hotel or anything like that. But I suppose when you're going out to play golf, you come home, you have a meal, a few drinks, sit outside and crash out. So I think it's kind of like the perfect location.
Okay, well, people who don't know, there is a kind of a gated community there. A lot of expats and foreigners have bought houses and land there. But I'm guessing they accept visitors.
They do.
They do. How much is it for around the golf? Dare I ask?
Weekday, probably around 80, 90 US.
It's good value, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's a hot dog on the turn kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. That gated.
that's
Going back to the gated community, they're fully sold out. So they've
Is
got
it?
150 resident buildings there, and prices they reckon now are around 100 million yen.
No
Really?
way.
Yeah.
Okay, a few years ago I was there, and a friend of mine, Stefan, who we talked about before on the show, he had a
Stefan?
plot next to him. There was just the land, and he said it was 12 million.
Yep.
12 million
Yeah.
yen. So that's gone up
Yeah, we took
significantly.
a real big tour around the community there, and I've been there a couple of times, but not through all the streets there.
Yeah.
There's some really nice houses there.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of short holes they've got in their backyards and stuff like that as well.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, up by the second tee box, there's like a golf hole, like a little par 3 that sort of on the back of. There's probably the last time I was there was probably 6 or 7 houses.
That's the one. Yep.
yeah,
It's kind of fun how everyone has their own golf carts as well. They're all kitted out in different colors, and
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
it's
You
very
cruise from the
stylish.
golf course into the residences.
Yeah. So that's only about 1 hour from Tokyo.
Okay.
So yeah, get
You
out
need
there.
a car, though. You're not getting the train there, are you?
No,
No, you need a car.
No, too hard.
It's in the heart of Chiba.
Yeah, it
it
is.
is.
They were
Yeah,
talking
for
about
sure.
transportation, though, that they, seems like it still needs to be ironed out a little bit, but they have transportation options to come and pick you up. So
From Tokyo?
Yep.
Okay, we'll shout out to that. Desmond Muirhead, Brick and Wood.
Yep.
All right, let's push on a little bit. Are we doing a prefecture of the week, gents? We had a Okinawa last time, I believe.
Mhm.
Should I refer to my notes, which I don't have?
Yeah, I don't think we've got a prefixture, but I don't know. Quickly, we spoke a little bit about it last week as well, but I actually went out to Yamanashi a couple of days this week or last week and visited Fuji Classic and also Fuji Country Club, and both just absolutely stunning courses, and the views of Mount Fuji just spectacular.
Now's the time, isn't it?
It is now is perfectly the time. I mean, some of the courses, including Fuji Classic, actually close down towards the end of the year, and they don't open up again till March or so, just being so close to Fuji. But Fuji Country is open all year round, and again, that's just outside of Gotemba, off the exit there, and nice and close to Gotemba Outlet. A lot of shops there.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll be posting something in the next day or so about all the golf shops there. But
Cool.
yeah, really convenient, and again, the course is great. and the views are amazing. It's actually, Fuji Country is actually the oldest golf course in that area. It's about 65 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, Fuji Classic's a good golf course. It's very grand. It's probably the most grand looking golf course. So when you start off, when you're at the bottom of the driveway there and you look up at the clubhouse, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. It's sort of storybook stuff. And it's another Desmond Muirhead design, and I think one of the closest golf courses to Mount Fuji.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I know about 4 or 5 different golf courses. They all say the same thing. Yeah. Fuji Kagosaka. Yeah, but no, I mean, Fuji, it's so big and there's so many great golf courses all around there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I believe you shot your personal best in front of Mount Fuji. Was it on Sunday?
You taking the piss?
Maybe.
Well, Damon's actually been playing quite well recently too.
I have been, apart from last Sunday.
And the week before when he played with me and I beat him.
Yeah.
4 shots.
Which is the first time.
That's true.
4 rounds.
No, it's only, you're only as good as your last game of golf. That's what Joe says.
Yeah.
Is the point in even asking you, Joe, what you shot in Da Nang?
Oh, it's all around even par.
That's so boring, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little
It's
bit.
pretty good without a full swing, though. Seriously.
Yeah. Do you ever just?
He doesn't even keep count anymore. It's definitely
I don't need a
par.
scorecard because
Yeah,
everything's always
par.
around par.
But do you never just pull an 87 out every now and again?
No, because I keep it on the fairway. I hit the ball pretty straight. I reckon I played. This is a bit of a humble brag. I played 4 days, and I think I missed 1 fairway.
Wow.
4 days, and they're not overly long. I was
impressive.
playing from slightly forward tees, like blue, just the regular sort of blue tees.
And what was your longest drive?
Oh, I smoked a couple. I hit a
210,
couple. There's one. The
215?
Montgomery golf course in Da Nang has got a lot of run. It's quite firm. So I got a couple up around sort of 300 yards. In the right conditions.
Yards.
Yards.
Cool.
Hawaiiana's plays a little bit softer, as do a couple of the others. But no, I played okay.
Oh, well done.
Do you reckon if the 3 of us played a scramble, we'd beat you?
No.
Well, you said you're around
That's
even
a
par.
challenge.
We should be breaking par for sure.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Probably. Yeah, you should beat me.
Although it depends,
But it would
because
be a good match.
there's ways you can make it even, right? It's like if we have to take a drive from everybody, and
As long as you talk some trash, I reckon I'll be able to get into both of your heads. Ryan, you're probably a little bit early to the game.
Yeah, see, I think the way to even it out is
he'd be just so happy to play, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
La, la, la.
That's right. I think the way to even it out is he has to be taking care of me. So he's got to be like, no, that's you're holding the club by the wrong way.
Oh, how about that? Scramble.
You need to hold it by the grip. not
Joe
by the
and
head.
Ryan.
Actually, that'd be fun.
Joe and
And
Ryan
we'd have to
against me
take,
and Damon.
in a normal...
And he has to play from where I hit it.
Yeah, like
And
probably 4 drives. We'd have to take four drives. Of
No, we'll all
yours.
play from the same tees. I think that's fair.
Yeah, we should do that. That'd be fun.
Okay, cool. Challenge accepted, as he said. Okay. We were talking about our new segment is to take some questions from the peanut gallery. Is that what we call it? No. from the listeners. Hello, all listeners. What have you got over there, Ryan?
Yeah, one question from a gaijin golfer would be Matthew in Seattle. So he was setting up for booking for Mizuno clubs at the Mizuno shop, which we help with to set up the reservations there. And it's tricky because of the timing and stuff like that. So it's like he wanted to do it in Tokyo, but that's where he ends his trip. So I suggested he start in Osaka, then he can get it delivered within time in Tokyo before he goes back home. So we were setting that up, and he was, but the problem is that in Osaka, they don't have that good of English. So we were talking about that, and he just said, well, what kind of translation apps do you recommend for when you're, traveling in Japan? And I feel like that's a pretty universal question, something that any traveler, you're going to be coming to Japan. You want to know how to be able to communicate with people. And so what translation apps do you recommend? And I mean, obviously things like Google Translate are really strong. You've got the camera function, so you can, show it a menu, show it a sign, whatever, take a little photo with it. It'll translate for you there. That's pretty helpful. There's also the conversation mode, which I've not actually used. I don't know if you guys have ever used that, but you basically have it so you, like one person can speak, and then you turn it over to somebody else. They can speak, and it translates it for you in real time. So I don't know. I mean, that's a good one, but I'm wondering, do you guys have any other feedback on that? Like, do you ever struggle with translation while you're here, getting understood?
I mean, these days I get away with it, but I think before the land of the iPhone, we used to buy that not Time Out Tokyo. What was the other one? It was like a phrase book, and I found that just super helpful. It was just you can still buy them in the airport lounge. I think they're good, but the new one, the Pokitok, and you can rent them at the airport as well.
Oh yeah.
They're good. So they're like you click. It's just like it looks like a ball marker. You click it and then you speak into it, and then you click it again, and it'll say it in Japanese. If you keep your finger on it, then it translates the Japanese, I think.
Joe, you were saying that like at the course, like you said, some of your team uses something like that.
Yeah, people at front reception and some of our hotel staff have
Oh,
got
they
them.
use
It's
Pocket
just
Talk?
it looks like a little receiver, sort of about half the size of an iPhone, and they same thing, Kieran. They speak into it, and then ours. I think there's some of them that they'll speak in Japanese, and it reads English, so you have to actually read the screen on the receiver. And then there's others that will spit out English. But I think there's lots of applications on phones where I've got colleagues who will speak into it in Japanese, and then it reads in English. So there's lots and lots of things you can download. But I would never say, make sure. So people coming over, don't ever be perturbed, or don't don't not come over with the thought that I'm not going to be able to speak the language or communicate with people, because you can, and there's a lot of Japanese people who can speak the language.
I mean, there's English all over the place,
Yeah,
really.
there is.
I think where you'll run into trouble is trying to book a tea time, and I think that's the premise for our business, because the golf courses, they're afraid of miscommunication. So although they're making an effort with the Pocket Talk, that's cool. I think if someone just called in, they'd be stuck. They wouldn't be able to use the Pocket Talk. They'd be, so that's the bit. But I think when you're getting around Tokyo and stuff like that, it's all in English. All the trains, everything's easy to go. You've got your Google Maps now on the smartphone. There's nothing to be afraid of.
There's still a language barrier, to be sure, like especially for like making a booking or something like that. Like there's the confirmation of things, and just even getting your email address registered to create an account with them. There's all sorts of sort of snafus that can come up. But when you're here and moving around, like even some of the feedback that we've had is that the staff was kind of like not confident in the beginning, and they were translating everything. But then once it got going, they actually started speaking English, and they kind of warmed up to it. So that's something I think Joe alluded to as well, is that a lot of times Japanese people kind of sell themselves short in terms of their English ability too.
No, it's confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think, Ryan, you're right. People, if you don't bother ringing the golf course directly, we have some people who try and ring our reception at our different golf courses and try and speak English to our staff. That's not going to work. That's why you guys are obviously really important. Yeah. But when you get to the golf courses, there's usually someone on front reception who's had a little bit of English experience. So...
And at that point, they're basically pointing. And
it depends where you are. I mean,
correct.
Joe's clubs are in like very posh areas. If you go to the deepest depths of Tochigi, good luck trying to find someone who can speak English, apart from our golf course. I've got a question here from Bubby. It's like Bad Boy Bubby. Remember that movie? Do you remember that Aussie movie?
Yeah. What was that? What was that?
Bad Boy Bubby.
Yeah.
It's about a guy who's kept by his mother.
Yeah, I do vaguely.
Oh God, I'm not going to go into it.
It was about Damon, wasn't it?
Anyway. Yeah. Some guy says, I don't have 9 hours to play a game of golf. How do I tell the clubhouse I only want to play through? You don't.
Yeah, you have no choice.
And the second part of it as well.
Use a translator machine, yeah.
I have a round booked.
Course. Yeah.
I have a round booked in Kyoto in January, but I fear it's going to snow there. Where else should I play? If you're staying in Kyoto, I suppose your train ride south is probably their best bet. Although Kyoto, does it snow?
It does snow for sure, but I mean it's kind of like January. Tokyo, like maybe once or twice a year type of thing. So
yeah,
Kyoto should be fine, but
I think it'd be fine. Don't worry about it. But if you had to, I mean, you could go into South Kagoshima, Hiroshima. Go down to our buddies down in Setouchi. I'm itching to get back down there. What a great golf course and what a great place to stay. And you've got the Seto Inland Sea, and it's nice and warm.
Just made a booking down there for Stefan. He's going to go down there with his son and stay there for 4 nights.
Oh man, I want to go. The seafood that they bring you in your villa is super nice. Man. They lay it all out for you. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
And you're right on the fairway, so you can go out and have a few drinks and walk the fairway in your bare feet. Do you ever do that? Walk the fairway in your bare feet?
Oh, it's nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's a lovely feeling.
I wouldn't recommend doing that in Japan, though.
Why not?
They may not keep you on the course.
Yeah, I was afraid of being yelled at just for sitting.
I mean, if you're staying over and there's no one on the course, you grab a beer and just walk outside.
Yeah, maybe do that at one of Kieran's courses.
You can. You're more than welcome to do it. Tell them I sent you. In fact, you could play around. I actually seen a guy in the park the other day walking my dog, and he was walking around, and he was a businessman.
So you're a guy in the park walking your dog?
No, I was walking my dog. Sorry, I spoke very quickly there. And he had his shoes and socks off to the side, and he was walking around in his bare feet in the grass.
Nice.
And he was doing it in a certain kind of way. And isn't there a movement in America that, you know, you get connected to the ground
Yeah, it's all
Japan
about
as
being,
well.
being
before you
grounded.
do your work?
They
What's
call
that
it-
all about?
In Japan, they call it earthing. I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's
Earthing.
called like grounding or something like that in the States. But yeah, there's some science behind it as well. That like, you know, the ions or whatever moving through your body, and you can basically, it's like a discharge of your electromagnetic energy. You know.
Let's talk about aliens. Oh, yeah, I believe in being grounded. I think that's good. So Kojima-san, back in the day when I was in Sioux Country Club in Mie, shout out to Kojima-san, and he said it to me. I was staying in the villa. He said, when you wake up in the morning, when the sunrise comes out, he goes, walk out onto the 18th green is right next to this big villa that they've built with an onsen in it. It's very nice. And I did it. Went out, hung over, strolled the 18th fairway, came back. It was really nice. Felt good. Bare feet. Why not?
I think that's the number one thing to say to people that don't golf about what's so enjoyable about it too, is like, you know, just being out there. It's like taking a hike or something like that. It's like a hike with a puzzle involved, you know? So
Yeah. For me, it was just more like, you know, when you're playing golf, you're so focused on your golf and trying to get a good score and that kind of thing. You kind of forget that it's just like, look how nice this fairway is. It's like a carpet. You can walk it in your bare feet, which I did. But anyway, that's good. Should we talk about some golf, international golf? I could see Joe has his specs on, so he's ready to read.
Actually,
Sounds like there's
Peter
been
Barnes, who's a listener of this podcast, sent me a message the other day, and he said, "Lose the glasses and lose the hat." He sent some-
So you've done both.
So I've got the
And the life
Golf in
preserver.
Japan hat,
You're such
but
a
I can't
rebel.
see really without. I mean, I can sort of see without the glasses, but was it Damon? Sorry, Kieran just called me Dame Edna Everidge. Probably quite apt, isn't it? So the ladies and the men's finished. They've finished the tour of season has finished in Japan.
Yep.
The ladies played at Miyazaki Country Club, which was a tour championship, or Rico Cup, which was won by Shiho Kawaki at 12 under. Rio Takeda, our girl, she came fifth.
Yeah.
She finished at 7 under, and she ended up winning the money list.
By a lot.
265 million yen. So, which is probably what's it, about 2 million US.
Give or take?
Give or take a little bit, which is that's amazing money. I mean, she has won 8 times this year, and she's also won. She's played 31 times, which I think is
Wow.
So she's played almost every event. But it's a big tour. The ladies here, I think the men is 20 something, so the ladies is low 30s. So she's done extraordinarily well. I mean, she's just won every category as well on the tour. But she's finished first, and Sakurai Kawai came second at 173 million. So almost like $1 million, $1 million yen ahead of second place. Just an amazing season, really. 8 times. I mean, she's only been on tour. I think it's her third year.
Second year.
Second year, is it? Sorry, I'm staying corrected. Second year.
Incredible.
Yeah, so I really hope that she starts to go overseas and plays overseas to get a little bit of exposure over there and pit herself against the best players in the world, because I think she'll do really, really well. She's just obviously she's a great player, but she's strong. She does everything really, really well. So I'm excited to see her future.
Incredible. She joined the tour in 2022 and turned professional in 2022.
Okay.
So she's 21 years of age.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. What a talent.
What a talent. Yeah. And the guys played they call it the Golf Nippon Series, the JT Cup at Yomiuri Country Club, which I played a few years ago. It's quite close to the center of Tokyo. It's about 40 kilometers.
Yeah, I've played there.
Have you?
Yeah, it's on by the newspaper.
Okay. Ryan, what was that word you used earlier on? Vertical something?
Verticality.
Verticality. Yeah. So that's very much Yomiuri Country Club. It's a lot like that up and down the hills.
That's a members course though, isn't it?
It is. It's quite established as well.
Yeah.
Sean Norris, who's a South African, won it. He's been a good player. I think it's his 6th win on tour, won by 2. And it was, if we just go, so I'm going to scroll down here, Takumi Kannai, who's a great player. He won the money list.
Nice.
In the end, which you sort of expect him to, because I think he's probably the best player on the tour. But it was good to see Sean Norris win, actually, because he hasn't won for a couple of years. He won the Japan Open a couple of years ago, and he's been having a lot of trouble with his chipping and pitching. I noticed the other day when I was watching him, he's gone backhanded. So he won a tournament in Europe, it's probably about a year ago, and I watched the last round. And I'm not joking, he was putting it for 50 yards off the green. And he was really good at it.
What's wrong with it?
I know, Damon. And look, I've been there as well. I still have a little bit of trouble with the chipping and the pitching. I get a little bit yippy, so I understand what Sean and Damon are sort of going through. It's really, really difficult, but he seems to have got himself together and he's chipping and pitching it well, and he's won the last tournament of the year. Guys, have you ever actually watched that golf course or that tournament?
The Yomiuri?
Yeah. What's really famous is the last hole. The last hole's it's probably about a 230, 40-yard par 3 with a tiny little green. And it is easily the most sloped putting green I've ever seen and played on. It's actually almost unplayable. It really is. It's extraordinary that I'm surprised they haven't blown it up and started again, because the guys you have to be below the hole. If you're above it, you've got an impossible chip. And if the guys are sort of pin high left or right, they end up chipping it onto the green and it rolls off the front all the time. It's quite extraordinary they continue to hold it there. But
I noticed that about like the one that we played, the Brick and Wood, is just that like when there was a short course where it's like you get it onto the fairway, then the greens were all weird, like harder than the other 100%. Holes. Is that just like a common thing where it's like, okay, this is one where you need to get it onto the green like through some sort of verticality, and then once you're on the green, you're going to have, that's where the struggle is to like, maybe it's intentional.
Sorry, the intentionality is the slopes on the greens.
Intentionality of the verticality. Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I noticed that with those those ones that are kind of shorter, so it's not about like like a long distance. But then once you get it on the green, it's like that's where it was really challenging, and they almost had the green sloped. It seemed intentional.
Yeah,
of course.
Correct.
Yeah,
it's probably
that's
to
Muirhead.
the hole.
He just
that's what he does.
So you have a golf course that's not very long, and so the defense is this really, really complicated green complex, and sloped greens, and multi-tiered, and false fronts, and and they mow the edges so it doesn't hold up; it just goes. So it's very difficult. It's I find it a bit frustrating. It's not my type of golf. I don't think I'm good enough to. Because even when you hit a good one and you say, okay, the descent angle is really nice on this one, it's going to hold up, it's going to stop dead, and it doesn't, just flies off the green. You're like,
yeah, it's a hard golf course. I mean, the first hole's a par 5. That's pretty tough. Then you play maybe the hardest hole I've ever played in Japan. So the second hole's long par 4, dogleg left down the hill. That's out of bounds left and right. And then
that's a fun hole, though.
It is a fun hole. And then the third hole, I was
going to say that's my favorite hole on the course.
Yeah, it's hard. And then the third hole is probably the most sloped putting green on the golf course. I reckon it's got about 5 tiers on it. And you're still hitting something like a hybrid or a fairway wood in there too. So
yeah,
it's pretty tough. So Ryan, you just getting through that 18 holes is quite impressive.
Well, if I can add on that real quick, I can attest that Damon was sinking putts like a madman. Like I think one was probably from like 3 meters away. So,
okay,
just to put a coin in his cred box.
Yeah,
so.
And I have to say, I did birdie that first par 5 as well.
Did you the first hole?
Yeah.
Was that the first hole of the day, or did you play that as your 10th?
First hole of the day.
Wow, that's good. That's a hard layup too. It's very
that
narrow.
green is pure
and that
evil.
green,
It's so sloped.
it is.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think I've played there about 4 or 5 times, and I think every time I've struggled on that green. The opening hole, you get on in regulation, but it's a 3-putt every time.
Yeah. Can I talk about the Aussie Open?
Sure.
So a lot of the players were down playing in Australia, down in Melbourne, where I'm from, down the Sandbelt. And they play, the ladies and the men's play together in this event now, which I think is quite a cool idea. I don't think they've quite got it right yet, only because the first and second day are played at Kingston Heath and Victoria Golf Club, which are quite close to each other. And then the last 2 days they play Kingston Heath, which is probably considered the better of the two golf courses, although Vic is still a terrific track. Riggs Johnson is an American guy that won. He's a young American player.
I was going to say, that sounds so Australian, though.
I think that sounds so American.
Okay.
There was some great players up the leaderboard, and he's not known in Australia at all. I don't know his name. He's got a tour card on the DP World Tour next year. Anyway, he played really, really well. He shot 68-68 around Kingston Heath on the last 2 days, and the last day seemed like pretty sort of tough conditions. And he had some people behind him that are really, really fabulous players. So Curtis Luck came second, Mark Leishman came third, and the three of them actually get a start in the British Open next year, which is terrific. And the ladies play at the same time, as I said. And Jia Shin, who's a Taiheo ambassador, I've met Jia. She's awesome. A former number one. She sort of globetrots that girl.
She's based in Japan, isn't she?
She is. She plays here. She played in the US for a long time.
She speaks very good Japanese.
She does, yep. Yeah. She speaks really good English, and she was number one player in the world. It's probably going back a decade, but she's based here now and sort of wins often. And I think that's her second Australian Open that she's won. And she goes down there and just a terrific effort. She shot 69, 68, 67 and 70 and won. She's 17 under. I think she won by 3 in the end, so she did it quite easily.
Is this off the same tees?
No, they play off different tees, but the men so they do play all together. So on the Saturday and the Sunday, it's a full field because usually, obviously, after the first 2 days, the bottom half of the field go home. But of course, then there's men and women. So it's not just the ladies tee off 10 and the men tee off the first. They're all sort of mixed together in different groups. And I'm not quite sure that's the best idea having.
You mean in the same
on
tee
first
time?
Different. I mean, different tee. I mean, they're playing on the same course. Yeah, but in amongst the men, which brings out a different demographic of people to watch it. And I think it's kind of cool. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure that playing at Kingston Heath and Vic in the first 2 days is maybe the right idea. But should be maybe just held at Kingston Heath. But really good winners. Ji Shin, I'm a big fan of Ji Shin. She's a terrific player.
Where do you watch this? I would like them to watch that, but on my apps, everything is can't get anything. Do you have that on DAZN?
I think it was on DAZN. So I remember watching Lishi play. He was playing well.
Okay. Yeah, he did play well.
Shout out to Liv.
Luke and Lucas Herbert was another Liv guy who played quite well.
And where does he play on tour?
I don't know.
Lucas Herbert.
Liv.
Yeah.
Another Liv player.
So he's originally from down the.
Don't change the subject, Joe.
From Commonwealth Golf Club, from where Peter Barnes is a member.
He won the ISPS, didn't he?
He did, a couple of years ago. Yeah,
in Ibaraki before it moved to your place.
He's won in Dubai as well. He's quite a good player. There were some Japanese players who played in the Aussie Open. Rintaro Nakano, a young amateur, shot 65 in the first round. He was leading after the first round at Kingston.
No way.
He shot 71 at Vic the next day, doing really well. 76, so came back to the field a little bit, and then shot 90 in the last round around Kingston Heath. So pretty tough day.
At the office.
Yeah, really tough. So struggled a little bit. And the ladies, Ayaka Sugihara finished at +5. She finished at tied 20th. And Shina Kanazawa finished tied 27th at +9. A couple of other girls, Mamiki Shinshi and Kotono Fukaya. Bit of struggle there. They both missed the cut. But it's good to see the Japanese players getting down there and playing in the Aussie Open because it's very, very different.
So can I ask you a question, right? So this young lad goes down, he shoots 65, he's leading the tournament.
He's an amateur.
76. He's an amateur.
Yeah.
So it's like Damon, let's say. And then he goes, then he bangs a 90 out. What happens then? His sponsors must go, oh, Jesus, get this guy off the cards.
Yeah, so he's up the leaderboard, so it's probably beyond him a little bit. So he's probably just fatigue, I would say. He's playing in the top groups with some fabulous players in a big event. I mean, it's a national open and it's probably just maybe too much for him. And I think the 90 around Kingston Heath's not a super, super difficult golf course. It's it requires the wind to come up to be really challenging. And the wind did come up on the last round. So maybe just some fatigue and difficult conditions has made him shoot 90. And but just to put himself in that position's terrific as an amateur. So he'll be he'll be much better for it in the future. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it from World Golf. I think.
No, I don't think so. I believe there's some live news.
There's some live news, which I think really Damon is chanting at the bit to talk about.
No, I mean,
well, hang on.
Aren't you?
First of all, let's talk about AK because AK's been on. Is AK getting dropped? He's not got his spot anymore.
So he made it the first cut. So he actually made the first cut in since he was on the PGA Tour because he went out and played in the Asian Tour. I can't remember where they played. Nobody was watching. But he shot 72, 71 and made the cut, which is really good. I believe they're going to keep him as a wild card.
Is he in the team or what's the crack?
I think this year he was just a wild card, so he was by himself.
Some interesting quotes coming out. He's saying it's only a matter of time before I win. I'm getting better and stronger. I'm getting more match fit. Blah blah blah.
Right attitude. That's the attitude.
It is the right attitude, but I think he's kidding himself. And I'm a fan. But I don't think he's.
You wouldn't say that to his face.
There's too many good players.
He'd smack those glasses off if you said that to him.
But I think Damon wanted to talk about somebody who's going to be joining LIV, or apparently, I'm not sure if it's 100%.
Is it confirmed?
Breaking news.
It is kind of breaking news. I mean, he hasn't made any announcements yet, but Tony Finnau moving to LIV
with Rory.
Woo-hoo. And there's rumoured to be one other player, and Joe has just let us know it's going to be Rory.
That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
Okay,
yeah.
But speculation that it also could be a Japanese player, Hideki.
Oh, I mean, I heard that they offered him like 200 billion to join.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't think he's worth that.
But so a bit of movement
here
there.
we go. Tony Finnau drops out of the Hero World Golf Challenge in rumours abound about joining the breakaway tour LIV.
Yeah.
And that's Tiger's event, isn't he? Why would you pull out of the Hero World Challenge? You never talked about the Hero World Challenge, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's this week, isn't it?
To be honest, I like Finnau, but I don't think he's in a great loss for the PGA Tour.
Oh, you're just hating on him now.
No, I don't.
I don't think that's very nice.
I think he's a good guy. He's a family man.
He's bigger than you.
John Ram has convinced him to join his Legion X11113. Legion 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because his teammate, Zimbabwe's Kieran Vincent, was relegated from the league. Nice name.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Maybe he can go over and join DeChambeau and do that thing. What was he doing that thing on YouTube?
The holding one over the house.
Oh, did you watch that?
I mean, God, that was boring.
It's kind
I'm
of
probably the only person that
though.
all the things like that, but that was horrible.
He does have an absolutely robotic swing, though, doesn't he?
He does. It's
amazing,
freaky how it repeats.
His house wasn't too bad either.
But that was the most boring piece of content for 2024.
So you didn't watch it?
I occasionally, so you sort of scroll through Instagram. I think it was on Instagram, and I swipe straight past.
That's Tinder. That's a different application.
Is that what it was?
Sorry. Swiped right. He swiped up. Yeah.
No, swiped,
was that Grindr?
Swipe down. Gone.
I loved it. I love watching him. I wasn't into it in the beginning. I thought he was just but he's so weird and genuine now. And I thought
he's
the most
not genuine.
Remember that time in LIV when
nice guy.
he was trying to get underneath the rope
and
it just brushed off his hair and he went down and he was just like an English Premier League player. I was like, what?
Oh gosh,
that was funny.
Yeah, so I just thought he was terrible. Now I'm like that breaking 50 with Phil Mickelson.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's another one out. I don't know if you saw it, Joe, with Grant Horvat and Phil Mickelson.
I like Grant. I think he's
Did you
good.
see the rematch?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you got to watch that. One. And they've just made an announcement. They're doing a 2v2 series. So they're teaming up, Grant and Phil Mickelson, and they're going to be challenging other pro golfers and content creators as well.
I like Grant. I think he's a good player.
I think it's going to be a great series.
A lot of people ask me, they say to why doesn't he play professionally? He's a really good player, but I think on his platform, I think he's earning an awful amount of money staying there and doing that, and doesn't have the pressure of playing pro golf.
He's always talking about it in his channel.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's always asking me, do you think I could become a pro? And they're like, no.
No, I mean, he's a nice player, but yeah, he's
a good player.
He's a good player. And he's good in front of camera, and he's got a great following. And I like him. He seems like an affable sort of bloke.
No, very good.
Who else are you following these days? Because I find, other than the regular Rick Shields, he's a good follow.
There's a group of New Zealanders who I really, really enjoy. There's Takeo is a Korean...
Kiwi Korean.
Korean, and he's got his mates. And then there's also, Luke Toomey, who was a tour player from New Zealand.
Another Kiwi boy.
They are easily the most entertaining, I find.
Yeah,
they're
very
hilarious.
good.
Sam and Harry, they're funny.
Yep.
And they're really good players too. I mean, they're all ex-professionals.
That's right, yeah.
Great sense of humour. You need to watch a little bit to sort of pick up on the humour, but yeah, I think they're terrific. Other than that, I don't really follow anybody else.
I started watching Tequila on the tour, and that there's a girl, she's from Mexico, I think.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, they're both rubbish players. Well, not bad, I suppose, but I always just, they're always, it's like a married couple, and they play against each other, and if one hits at OB and they need a mulligan, they have to take a shot of tequila.
Oh, really?
So they just do it all the time. So they're just mucking around all the time. I think it's pretty...
I'll check that out.
Yeah. And he looks like way younger than her.
Really?
Did I say that?
Of course you can.
Yeah. So, but sometimes she'll go off in Spanish at him, which I find is hilarious.
Yeah.
She's got the Latino thing, so that's a good follow, I think. Not that many, only 100,000 people following them, but yeah, Tequila at the turn. I thought that was good, but
I'm still looking forward to us doing it. The four of us out there.
We got to do it. I just bought. Actually, I should talk about my burgeoning Temu addiction and all the crap I'm buying. So, to people who don't know, Temu is it a Japanese website?
No, it's Chinese.
It's Chinese,
and it's also well known in the US. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, so I didn't know about it, and I just started buying teas, weird like paraphernalia, and I bought a drone, and I've been flying it all around the place. It's so easy to do, and I was like, it's not a nice camera, so it's not as good as the Mavic one that we have. Yeah. We have some nice stuff, but I'm learning how to do it, so I'm really can't wait to go out onto the golf course.
Did
and
you
look
get the
around.
2,000 yen drone or the 4,000 yen drone?
I don't even think it was 2,000 yen, mate. I think it was like 1,800 yen, but it works so well.
Yeah, I got that one too, but it's like it always takes off weird. Like it always drifts or something like that. Maybe you can show me what I'm doing wrong.
Bad verticality.
Yeah, it is.
You got to work on
It's got all this horizontality
propellers
going on. Yeah.
It's kind of cheap propellers, right? So if one of them bent, it probably wouldn't perform well. But yeah, back to it. We should actually make a few vids.
I'm surprised that the content creators that do it, I don't know how they do it. Just because like golf is, I'm surprised how quick you got to get going. It's like, okay, now you got to get here.
Yeah.
You got to move up. Which I mean, it's fine if you're just focused on playing. But if you're trying to take some photos or something like that, it's like everything. It's always like kind of move on to the next thing. So I don't know how these people are standing around.
Oh, they've got other people doing it a lot of the time. They've got sometimes two people, and then they do it themselves too.
I think we probably could do a few with our guy Conan. Shout out to Conan. He helps us do all the drone mappings for the golf courses. And he's a very, very good. I used to make different types of movies with him. We used to do a lot of tourism stuff, hotel openings, all this kind of thing. And he's a very good drone operator as well. So I think we could. He's not a golfer though, but that doesn't mean anything in this podcast, right?
Yeah, right.
Hey, join the golfer now.
Yeah, he can join the team.
So maybe we can ask him to come out and we'll have a go at this scramble and we try and do it somewhere. But if anybody out there has any suggestions on what we should do to make some cool video content on the course, what you want to see, let's do it. Our golf is not the best. No, we have Joe though in the group. He's the one that's an actual golfer. So if you're going to criticize anybody, it has to be Joe.
That's fine.
We don't take any criticism.
I'm waiting for some hate on YouTube. I'm waiting for the first comment.
Oh, it'll come. It'll come.
I hope.
Yeah. We need some comments on your backside now. Now we've got plenty of talking about your glasses.
Oh, my glasses.
Hat.
That's
I didn't know where you were going with that one, right?
Well, just most of the golf content, it's always looking at somebody's butt.
Yeah, I have to do some squats.
Yeah, you better do it.
All right, this is taking a turn.
I'm getting giddy. Okay, cool. Well, I think we have enough, and I think you have to go. Don't you have a lesson at 12:30?
I've got to go and meet Ben, and I want to get Ben on this podcast.
Yeah, I'd love to get Ben on. He's a bit of a legend,
Warren.
isn't he?
Who's Ben?
Don't you know Ben, Scottish Ben, who's a course architect and shaper?
Really, really good.
Oh, Ben, yeah.
Yeah.
Just finishing up his project down in Fukuoka, right?
He is.
So he's got a golf bag that somebody threw in a bin in 1930, and he's found it, and it's got holes in it and everything, and he just brings like 4 clubs with him, and one club says approach, and the other one says long, and the other one says mid, and that's it. They're just these blades that some like legendary samurai craftsman made.
He's got a persimmon wood he uses as well.
Talk about simple, right?
Yeah, and he's got this weird accent because he spent a long time in
the US.
In the US, right? So he'll say, "You know what I mean, laddie?" And it's like he's got this mixture of Scottish American, but he's such a cool vibe.
He's a cool dude.
Did he
Such a
finish
good
his?
guy.
Did he? And he's a great ball striker. I mean, he can play.
He can play.
Did he finish that course he was working on?
I think it's about to be finished soon.
Cool.
I think they're holding the Ladies Japan Open.
So what were they doing down there? They were actually converting it from 2 greens to 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And,
No, but he was reshaping. He was showing me pictures in the car.
yeah, cutting a lot of the trees down and widening the course and stuff.
They made it look more linksy, I thought.
Yeah, cleared out a lot of trees.
Sand everywhere.
Yeah.
Just cool.
Apparently he's done a great. You showed me some photos and it looks amazing. He's an interesting cat because he's the course architect, but he gets on the big machines and shapes all the earth as well, which I think is a little bit unusual. But that's
definitely got to get him on.
Cool.
So when you speak to him, give him the big invite.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll ask him.
Well, I would be interested in going down and getting a preview of that course.
No, we should. Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We could play down there.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben would play with us. That'd be awesome.
It would.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a good plan. But if anybody has any questions or has any advice, or if you're some sort of creator and you think we should do something, let us know. We'll try it. Give it our best. We'll get all our Temu drones. See how we go. All right, lads. Well, without further ado, thanks very much for a beautiful weather day podcast. So we'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
All right, have a good one. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, boys.